Let us begin today's class with an interesting question. Whether Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani are related persons? If you say they are related persons, then you are wrong. According to GST, they are not related persons. Here you need to notice that we are talking about related persons and not relatives. So we are focusing on the word related persons. Now one more question may come, why it is important that one should know who are related persons? Normally GST is attracted when there is a transaction and there is a consideration. So if there is no consideration, there is no GST. But in certain transactions, there is GST even if there is no consideration. That is, if there is a transaction between related persons. So if there is a transaction between related persons and even if there is no consideration, there is GST. Right? So even if there is no consideration but it is between the related persons, there is GST. So it is very important for us to know who are these related persons. Section 15, an explanation to section 15 defines who are related persons. Section 15 talks about who are related persons and it gives 8 scenarios. It gives 8 scenarios where one person will be treated as related person to another. It talks about 8 scenarios where one will be related to another, and if there is any transaction between these two persons and even there is no consideration also, there will be GST on that. So we will pick up these 8 items one by one and discuss. In your book you may notice that there is one order. There is order where A, B, C, D items are written, but for the purpose of simplicity we are changing this order. For the purpose of simplicity we are changing this order. And what is that simplicity we will tell at the end of the class. Okay, so to begin with, let us start with the item number 1. It says where one person holds more than 25% share in another person. Where one person holds more than 25%, 25 or more. Okay, the clarification, 25 or more, they are treated as related persons. Let us take one simple example. Say there is Ram Limited and Rahim Limited. Now, Ram Limited holds 25% share in Rahim Limited. Ram Limited holds 25% share in Rahim Limited. Hence, Ram and Rahim becomes related persons. Ram Limited holds 25%, hence they become related persons. Now, let us see what is the implication of GST here. What is the consequence? Now, Ram Limited is in the business of manufacturing mineral water bottles. Mineral water bottles. Now Ram Limited supplied 1000 such bottles to Rahim Limited. Ram Limited supplied 1000 bottles to Rahim Limited for free. For free. Now normally if it is for free there is no GST. But in this particular case Ram and Rahim are related persons. Hence even if there is no consideration, this will be treated as supply and there is GST on that. So this is the first case where one person holds 25% or more in another person. Now let us go to the second scenario. Second scenario talks about where there are two persons and these two persons are officers or directors in each other's business. These two persons are officers or directors in each other's business. Then these two persons will be treated as relatives. Let us take one simple example to understand this. Say there is Akbar Limited and Birbal Limited. There are two companies, Akbar Limited and Birbal Limited. So now Birbal is a director in Akbar Limited. Birbal is a director in Akbar Limited and Akbar is a director in Birbal Limited. Now there are two businesses, Akbar Limited, Birbal Limited, and Akbar is the director in Birbal's company, that is Birbal Limited, and Birbal is the director in Akbar Limited. Now these are directors in each other's business. Once these are directors in each other's business, these two parties will be treated as related persons, and if there is any transaction between Akbar Limited and Birbal Limited, even for no consideration, it will attract GST. Now let us go to the third scenario. Third scenario in which the parties will be treated as related persons. Now the third scenario says, if the two persons are partner in the same business, then these partners will be treated as related persons. Let us take one example to understand this. Say there is Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan. Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan get into one partnership. They start a partnership to produce movies. Fine. Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan get into partnership. Now, Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan are treated as related persons. Say Salman Khan decided to act in Shah Rukh Khan's movie free of cost. Salman Khan decided to act in Shah Rukh Khan's movie free of cost. Even in that case, it will be treated as supply. Shah Rukh Khan is not paying any money to Salman Khan. Even if there is no consideration, this is the transaction between related persons. Hence, there is GST on that. So we have seen three such items. Let us go to the fourth scenario. The fourth scenario talks about a transaction between employer and employee. Employer and employee are treated as related persons. The employer and employee are treated as related persons. Let us say that an employer gave a gift. An employer gave a gift, say a motor car to employee. An employer gave a motor car as a gift to the employee for no consideration. It is a gift, so employee is not paying anything in return. So employer is supplying car to the employee for no consideration, but even in this case it will attract GST because employer and employee are treated as related persons. So we completed the first four. First one was holding more than 25%. Second one was officers or directors in each other's business. Third one was partners in the same partnership firm. Fourth one was employer-employee relationship. So how do we remember this first four? We create a keyword called as HOPE, that is HOPE. Now H for holding more than 25%, O for officers or directors in each other's business, P for partners in the business, and E, the last one, E for employer-employee relationship. So this is the first four scenarios. Now let us discuss the other four scenarios which are comparatively easier to understand. Now let us talk about the fifth scenario where one person will be treated as related to another person. The fifth scenario says that where one person controls the other person. Word which is important here is control. One person controls the other person. If one person is controlled by the other person, both the person will be treated as related persons. Let us take a simple example to understand this. Say there is Pepsi Limited and there is Pizza Hut. So there is Pepsi and Pizza Hut. Now Pizza Hut has 10 directors. Okay, the 10 directors who decides the business. There are 10 directors in Pizza Hut, and out of these 10 directors, 6 directors are appointed by Pepsi. Out of these 10 directors, the majority, that is 6 directors are appointed by Pepsi. That is to say, Pepsi has a control over Pizza Hut. Pepsi has a control over Pizza Hut. So in this situation, when one person has a control over the another, both the parties will be treated as related persons. Now say Pizza Hut supplied 10,000 pizzas to Pepsi. Pizza Hut supplied 10,000 pizza to Pepsi. Whether Pepsi and Pizza Hut are related? If answer is yes, even if it is free of cost, there is GST on that. Fine. So what is that we need to understand? If one person controls the other, then both the parties will be treated as related persons. Now let us go to the sixth scenario. The sixth scenario says when both of them, when two persons are controlled by one person. Where two persons are controlled by one person, the two persons will be treated as related persons. Let us take an example to understand this. Facebook controls WhatsApp. Facebook controls Instagram. Right? Facebook controls WhatsApp. Facebook controls Instagram. Now whether WhatsApp and Instagram are related? Answer is yes. Why WhatsApp and Instagram are related? Because they both are controlled by the same person. So if there are two companies and these are controlled by the same person, these two companies will be treated as related persons. So if WhatsApp is supplying any service to Instagram, if WhatsApp is supplying any service to Instagram for free of cost, even then there is GST on that. Now let us come to the seventh scenario. The seventh scenario simply says there are three parties here: A Limited, B Limited, C Limited. Now when A and B Limited jointly control C Limited, A and B Limited jointly control C Limited, then A and B Limited are said to be related persons. Now how are they jointly controlling? Say A and B Limited together appoint majority of directors in C Limited. A and B Limited appoints majority of directors in C Limited, hence A and B controls C Limited. Here A and B becomes related persons and any transaction between them, even made without consideration, will attract GST. So now we spoke about 3 points where one person is controlling the another, right? That was the first point we spoke. Next we said when one person controls two other persons, that is Facebook controlling WhatsApp and Instagram. The third example we said where two persons control one person, that is A and B Limited controlling C Limited. So in all these three scenarios, they are treated as related persons. Till now we discussed 7 scenarios. The first 4 we remembered as HOPE, that is HOPE. H for holding more than 25%, O for officers or directors in each other's business, P for partners in the business, E for employer and employee. Next we studied 3 points which had one common word, that is control. So it is 3 C's, one controlling the other and 2 are controlled by one, that is Instagram and WhatsApp is controlled by Facebook, and one more is 2 controlling the one, that is A and B Limited are controlling C Limited. So first HOPE, then 3 C's. Let us discuss the 8th scenario, that is the last one. And this will answer the first question which I asked you, whether Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani are related persons or not. The 8th scenario talks the members of the same family. Members of the same family are considered as related. But what is family now? If you look into the definition of family, it says family means spouse and children. That means spouse and children, whether they are dependent or not. Take for an example, we discussed Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani has his wife Neeta Ambani. Whether they are related? Yes, they are related because they are the members of same family. Whether Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani are related, though they are brothers, they are not dependent on each other. The moment they are not dependent on each other, they are not related persons. Now let us take an example from GST perspective. Say there is Amitabh Bachchan and Abhishek Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan and Abhishek Bachchan, members of same family. Now Abhishek Bachchan agrees to act in one movie by Amitabh Bachchan free of cost. Abhishek Bachchan agreed to act in a movie of Amitabh Bachchan for free of cost. There is no consideration. Even if there is no consideration, they are treated as related person and GST is applicable. I hope this is clear. So when both the parties are related persons, even if there is no consideration, there is GST on that. To sum up the entire thing, first 4 thing was HOPE, HOPE, followed by 3 C's, which spoke about controls. The last one is family. So to remember entire thing, it is keyword is HOPE, 3C, family. HOPE, 3C, family. For one last time, let us repeat the entire thing. HOPE stands for H, holds more than 25% share in others' business. O stands for officer or directors in each other's business. P stands for partners in the business. E stands for employer and employee are treated as related persons. So HOPE is done. Let us look at 3 C's, that is 3 controls. One controls the other, 2 are controlled by the one, and 2 control the one. Okay, so these 3 controls are treated as related persons, and the last one is family. So family means spouse and children. In all the cases, and brothers and sisters and parents are treated as family only if they are dependent on the person. So I hope this entire 8 scenarios are very clear to you, and it is very important in this chapter and in the later chapter as well. Now you may get a doubt saying that when Abhishek Bachchan agreed to act in an Amitabh Bachchan's movie for free of cost, there is GST, it is agreed. But how GST is calculated? And on what value you are going to calculate tax rate? Say tax rate is 18%, but on what value? So how to calculate this value? Everything we are going to learn in later chapters, that is valuation of supply. But as of now, only thing you need to remember for this chapter is when there is a transaction between related persons, even if there is no consideration, it will be treated as supply. How this value is determined, we'll study in the later chapters.